Good morning, folks.
Oh, welcome back to the finca. It's still,
another scorchio day.
Yes, it's still very, very hot. You can hear the aircon buzzing away up there, possibly.
We're still working on this room at the back of us. It's going to be our little snug office.
Yes.
If you've seen the previous video, we've cleared it all out now. You can see the old doors and everything, all the rubbish behind us.
We've got to get rid of them yet.
You've done 3 walls
We've
now?
done 3 of the walls, yeah, and we started on this wall. We want to put some windows and stuff in. Oh, here comes the dog.
Oh, here's Tilly.
Tilly, wagging his tail. But we've come across a bit of a setback.
Welcome to Finca Live. We're Sharon and Andy, just 2 people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you. Our hens have settled in really well. We've got Louise here. That one's Hilda. The other black rock over there, that's Thelma. The white one you can see is Scylla. And Lottie's not here at the moment, she's in the nesting box, hopefully laying us an egg. 3 out of the 5 are laying now on a regular basis. We did buy them at point of lay, and obviously it takes a couple of weeks for them to settle in. But they're doing really well. They've survived the awful heat that we've had recently. Yeah, they're doing absolutely brilliantly. This is our bath where we had the potato forest, if you remember, absolutely full of potatoes right up here. They all started dying off, so we thought we'd dig up and see what we've got at the weekend. And we've got 2 potatoes, 2 tiny little potatoes which we've just left in to do their own thing. I don't know what went wrong, whether the soil was too rich because it was a mixture of compost and donkey poo, which is now all broken down and it's much nicer than it was, but I don't know. There is no reason. They've been in the shade, so not too much sun, regularly watered, I don't know. But we got 2 tiny little potatoes. So we'll just try again. This one, on the other hand, was in with the rocket. It just sprouted up potato in the middle of the rocket. The rocket died off. We left the potato in and it's doing really well now. So we've not had a look, but we're hoping that we might get a few potatoes from this one. And if you can see over here, that was our spinach, which again had all gone to seed. So we pulled it out. Obviously some of the seeds must have stayed in the soil, and we've just noticed the last couple of days we've got more spinach popping up, so we'll be able to have another curry shortly. The melons are doing well. We've had a couple already, very nice, very sweet. They're not massive, and again, don't know why they're not growing big. The one that we ate was probably that sort of size, so bigger than this one. This is the next biggest one. Maybe there were too many in one pot, because if you remember Andy, in his impatience, as he does, we put some melon seeds in, nothing was happening, so he planted a load more and then they all came up. So we did thin them out, but you know, there are 3 melon plants in one pot here and it's perhaps a bit too much, that's why they're not very big. We've got another one coming on here and we've got another couple over there. Yeah, we just keep trying. And this, if you can see, is ginger, which popped up from nowhere. I did have some ginger in the cupboard that had started to go a bit, well, it started to sprout, so I threw it in a pot a long time ago. Nothing happened, I completely forgot about it, and it must have been this pot, this compost, because in amongst the melons we've now got 3 ginger plants popping up, so I'm excited to see what's underneath the soil eventually when we dig it up. And the pepper plants are doing really, really well now. They did suffer a little bit when we had that really intense heat. They weren't looking very well at all, but they've all come back to life now. We've got absolutely loads of peppers, not very big at the moment, but yeah, they're looking a lot better, so I'm really pleased about that. Our lemon tree, again, survived the heat. It's looking really well. We've got a couple there, one here, quite a few at the back. Yeah, so hopefully now we're over the worst of the heat, everything will be okay. And which brings us to the tomatoes, our very strange looking tomato plants. It was a massive display of leaves down the bottom here at one point, but all the leaves started to die off, so I've been taking them off as they've been dying. There are still a couple you see here, they've just gone dry, and so I've just been taking them off, which has left us with this strange bare looking plant, but at the top it's still growing. We've still got flowers and more tomatoes coming. I don't know if you can even see how tall they are. They just keep going. So we're going to leave them in because, as I say, there are still tomatoes on there, albeit it looks very strange. And yeah, we've had about 2.5 kilos, I think, so far, and they're only cherry tomatoes, so that's not a bad amount considering the size of the tomato. Yeah, very lovely, very sweet. And that's it really for the garden update, so let's get on with this wall.
So, where are we? We're in this we think this is the oldest part of the house. Things are slowly unravelling. We think that this room itself, because all the walls are thick external walls, it's got a fireplace in it, and we think this was an old original part of the building, an old shepherd's hut. The reason being is there's over the back there, where we've taken in the past the big black stones that we've made the floor from, there is another one pretty much identical in size and shape and everything, built by the family. I've been over there with Emilio, whose family has farmed this land for forever, and it's pretty much exactly the same, and it's got his great-grandfather's initials carved in the wall when he built it, and it's exactly the same. It's got a door in, which I'm guessing would have been that door over there, that's out of shot because it'll flare up on the camera, a fireplace, and it had like a bed bunk thing in the corner. So, and looking at the state of this wall, it is super old. We took all the, obviously we got work we want to do on it, we want to put windows in, etc., sorted out. We took all the plaster off, it had been patched up. None of the rest of the house has particularly been patched up. So again, it leads us to believe that it's the oldest part that's needed some remedial work in the past. However, they patched it up really badly using more modern materials, which are wrong materials to use on solid stone walls. What's in it? I mean, there's massive holes, there's big pieces of mud, you know, like there, with not much stones in them at all. All the stones pretty much are loose, wobbly. It's in a really, really bad condition. As we want to knock bits of it out, give it a good smashing up to sort out these openings for the windows and stuff, I don't really want to do that. There's another one there, that's just a big pile of dirt that goes into a more than a fist size hole in the centre of the wall. There's nothing of any substance holding it together. They say we want to start knocking it about. I don't want to do that because I reckon we could probably have a bit of a come down on parts of this if we do that. So the first thing I want to do is get this well, sort of reinstated, not finished, but put some strength back into it, into the middle of the wall. The walls were originally built in 2 halves with some through stones, and the middle was just filled with dirt and rubble and stuff. It's all washed out over the years, it's all come out, there's nothing in the middle. So I want to put some strength back into it, make it solid again for when we start bashing away at it. So the first job is to get old Henry out and give it a good vacuum off and see what we're left with. Obviously it's a major setback for us. It's going to take probably a week or so, I reckon, to get this somewhere like. We're not going to be finishing it, as I said, just making it solid again. We'll finish it all and point it all up nicely after. But yeah, bit of a disappointment, but you do get these things with old houses, you never know what you're going to find. So Henry's here, we'll start at the bottom. So it's all vacuumed off. The reason for vacuuming it off, of course, is to get most of the dust and stuff, or the bulk of the dust and stuff off it. So our new mortar will stick to the stones, it won't stick to dust, obviously. We've got things like, if you can see that there's a massive hole there, I can see daylight through the other side. There's another one up there. There's one here. There's several more there. This is just soil, which I'll probably knock out when I come to get it. And down the bottom here, I can get my whole arm in there, if you can see that, right the way through. It's like there. How this is standing up, I don't know. Again, that's why I don't want to start taking this out, because there'll be nothing then holding that in place. So that's where I've got to start, right at the bottom, packing them up, things like this. But it's just dust, dry earth. So I don't know whether to dig down a little bit, put a bed of limecrete in there, but yeah, we're ready to start kind of consolidating it. Right, okay, so I've got my mix done. I'm using sand and lime, 4 parts sand, 1 part hydrated lime. I've got a bucket of water to dip my stones in to wet them. I've got my pressure sprayer to wet everything down. And I've got a couple of big chunks of marble that hopefully I'm going to hammer one of them into this big hole under here. It's going onto loose earth, so I've got quite a wet mix. So what I'm going to do, this is actually going to make a limecrete when it goes. A little bit of pressure on that to make this work better. I'm going to give this a good soaking, up and down. Not what you need, you know, this sort of stuff. Throw some water right in there. Sticky mix. And then I'm going to see if I can get this one, give him a wet, hammered right inside there. Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I think he's going to do alright. A sort of underpinning technique. It's pretty good actually. Of course later on I can pack more up when this has gone off a bit. Come on, get it. Right. The good thing with marble, you can properly beat it. Yeah, that's got it. That's absolutely solid in there. It doesn't break, not very easily at all. Cool. Right, next one. So I've got a couple going at the bottom in there. I'm just going to do the biggest ones first. This is a big one. I'm going to start off by putting smaller stones inside it. This one. Bucket go. Come on. Probably at this stage it's easier to throw it in by hand. There we go. And again, I've tried it for size. Give them a good tap in. Oh no, the wrong hammer out. This one's better because it's got a big pointy end on it. There it goes. Just finding one now that'll go in there. Yep, he's the one. And I shall carry on. Righto, I'm a bit happy with that. It doesn't look any different because everything I put in is actually inside the wall. I think the next thing, we're contemplating what to do next, but there's no point starting anything until we've done all the demolition. So I think we're going to have a look at this little window by opening this up and see exactly what we're dealing with in here. So obviously on the outside all this stuff needs taking off because it all needs repointing and rebuilding, but there's all this mess here and it's like bits of clay pot and stuff stuck in there. There's obviously at some point been some sort of structure on this wall. You might be able to make it out, but trust me, in the past, because you can still see there's a line down here, there's a line up there where it changes. We've no idea what the history of this house is about to a certain extent, but we can see here this looks pretty much like the opening for the window. So what I want to do, I'm just going to knock this out and just have a look what we're dealing with. We've got this door down here that we're going to stand up after and lean another door on it to close it off. But yes, I'm a bit interested. It obviously looks like a nice big piece of stone as well, which you want to try and get out without breaking, because we better use it on the floor, I'm sure, somewhere. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to come out in one piece. Because it's got all this, well, messy stuff on it. I'm going to try and get these tiles out though, because we can use those for something. Hammer, drill, got out, let's have a go. See if we can make a headway into it. Whatever this stuff is, it's horrible. It's solid, nasty. More rubble to go out. I'll just have to sacrifice them. I don't even know exactly where to go in from the outside or not, so I'm just going to have to go for it. We'll have a go. Let's just do it. We're getting nowhere fast on the inside. I was trying to send it through to get a reference point, but we're getting a bit of looseness, a bit of movement. Shannon's been watching it, but I'll have to try it from this side. You can clearly see the bottom of it. Or stones. Because it's had all this stuff just smeared over it, we don't actually know where we want to be going. Right, I'm through at the bottom. I can see daylight from the inside. There. It's not moving though. It's not even wiggling a bit. It's moving. It's moving. Who'd have thought such a little piece would be such an effort to get out? So I don't want to break it. Yeah, it's quite a hefty piece, that. Gosh. Right, okay. We're in anyway. Far too hot to be out here leaking So you can see the original window opening there now, which is good. So there we go, fantastic, we're through. I've stubbed the door up on the outside so it doesn't flare out for the camera. The next thing I've got to do, it's weird because there's not much lintel in this side, but there's a big stone there. I'm assuming there's a lintel in there and one in the middle as well. I need to take out all this rubbish, cemented, gypsum based stuff, get back to the original stones, which looks like that's one, that's definitely one, there's one here, probably one there as well, just so we've got a clean start with the original fabric of the building.